And his name is Stephen. He's a recent convert. And before you, we have grave accusations. Bring him forth. Bring forth Stephen. Who here the Sanhedrin wishes to speak?
This fellow never stops speaking against this holy place and against the law.
He says Jesus of Nazareth will destroy this place and the customs of Moses.
I had heard Stephen speak words of blasphemy against Moses and against God.
Are these charges correct?
Brothers and fathers, listen to me. The God of Abraham appeared to the God of Abraham, the God of glory, appeared to our father Abraham while he was still in Mesopotamia, before he lived in Haran. Leave your country and your people, God said, and go to the land that I will show you. So he left the land of the Chaldeans, and he went and settled in Haran. When his father died, he came here to this land where you are now living. God gave him no inheritance here, not even a foot of ground. But he promised him that he and his descendants after him would possess the land. Even though at that time, Abraham had no child. God spoke to Abraham in this way. He said, your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own. They will be enslaved and mistreated 400 years. But I will punish the nation they serve as slaves, God said. And afterward, they will come out of that country and worship me in this place. Then God gave Abraham the covenant of circumcision. And Abraham became the father of Isaac and circumcised him on the 8th day after his birth. Later, Isaac became the father of Jacob, and Jacob became the father of the 12 patriarchs. Because the patriarchs were jealous of Joseph, they sold him into Egypt as a slave. But God was with him and rescued him from all his troubles. He gave Joseph wisdom and enabled him to gain the goodwill of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, who made him ruler of Egypt and all his palace. Then a famine struck all of Egypt and Canaan, bringing great suffering. And our fathers could not find food. When Jacob heard there was grain in Egypt, he sent our fathers there on their first visit. On their second visit, Joseph told his brothers who he was, and Pharaoh learned about Joseph's family. After this, Joseph sent for Jacob and his whole family, 75 in all. Then Jacob went down to Egypt, and our fathers died there. Their bodies were taken back to Shechem and placed in a tomb that Abraham had bought from the son of Hamor for a certain sum of money. As time came near for God to fulfill his promise to Abraham, our people, the number of our people in Egypt had increased greatly. And a new king had become ruler of Egypt who knew nothing about Joseph. And he dealt with our people treacherously. He oppressed our forefathers by making them to throw out their newborn babies that they would die. At that time, Moses was born, and he was no ordinary child. He was cared for 3 months in his father's house. Then when he was put outside, Pharaoh's daughter took him and brought him up as her own son. He was educated in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and he was powerful in speech and deed. When Moses was 40 years old, he decided to visit his own people, the Israelites. He seen one of them being mistreated by an Egyptian, and he went to his defense, and he avenged him by killing the Egyptian. Moses thought that his own people would realize God was using him to rescue them, but they did not. The next day, he come upon two Israelites who were fighting. He tried to reconcile them by saying, "Men, you are brothers. Why would you want to hurt each other?" But the one that was mistreating the other pushed Moses aside and said, "Who made you ruler and judge over us? Do you want to kill me like you killed the Egyptian yesterday?" When Moses heard this, he fled to Midian, where he settled as a foreigner and had 2 sons. 40 years passed, and an angel appeared to Moses in the flames of a burning bush in the desert near Mount Sinai. He was amazed at this sight. But as he went to look more closely, he heard the words of the Lord, "I am the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." Moses heard this. He dared not even look. Then God said to Moses, "Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. I have indeed seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I have heard their groaning, and I have come down to set them free. Come now, I will send you back to Egypt." This is the same Moses who they had rejected with the words, "Who made you ruler and judge?" He had been made ruler and deliverer by God himself through the angel that appeared in the bush. He led them out of Egypt, and he did wonders and miraculous signs in Egypt, at the Red Sea, and for 40 years in the desert. This was that Moses that told the Israelites, "God will send you a prophet like me from your own people." He was in the assembly in the desert with the angel who spoke to him at Mount Sinai and with our fathers, and he received living word to pass on to us. But our fathers would not obey him. They rejected him, and in their hearts they turned back to Egypt. They said to Aaron, "Make us gods that will go before us." As for this man Moses that led us out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him. This is the time that they made the idol in the form of a calf. And they brought offerings to it. And they had a celebration in honor of what their hands had made. But God turned away and gave them over to the worship of the heavenly bodies. This agrees with what's written in the book of prophets. "Did you bring me sacrifices and offerings 40 years in the desert, O house of Israel? You have raised up the shrine of Moloch and the star of your god, Raphan, idols you made to worship. Therefore, I will send you into exile beyond Babylon." Our forefathers had the tabernacle of the testimony with them in the desert, and it had been made as God directed Moses, according to the plan that he had seen. Our fathers under Joshua, having received the tabernacle, brought it with them as they took the land from the nations that God drove out before them. And it stayed in the land until the time of David, who enjoyed God's favor and asked that he might provide a dwelling place for the God of Jacob. But it was Solomon that built the house for him. However, God does not live in houses made by men. As the prophet says, heaven is my throne. The earth is my footstool. What kind of house would you make for me, says the Lord? And where would my resting place be? Has not my hands made all these things? You stiff-necked people with uncircumcised hearts and ears.
Uncircumcised heart.
You're just like your fathers, always resisting the Holy Spirit. Was there ever a prophet your fathers did not persecute? David killed the one who predicted the coming of the righteous one. And now you have betrayed and killed him. You who received the law as given through angels. Get
him out of here. Kill him now. Take him out and stone him.
Heavens open to the
Cast the robes from my
standing
feet.
in the right hand of God.
Blasphemer.
Cast me the robes. Take him out and stone him. Take him and kill him. We've had enough.
Jesus, my spirit.
Take him out.
Forgive them their sin.
Kill him.
This man, Saul of Tarsus, who got the ropes tossed at his feet, would later go through a transformation. But not today.